Hey guys, today I want to talk to you a little bit about cover letters and if they even get read and what's the point in today's world? Do we really need cover letters? And the truth is you probably don't, but there's three specific reasons why you might want to use a cover letter when you're submitting a resume for an application for a job. The first is because someone asked for it. The second is because as you look at the job description, you think on paper, you might look like you're less than an 80% match for the role that's on paper, but you know you're a better fit. And then the third reason is just because there's some obvious red flags on your resume that you're aware of, that you know anyone looking at your resume is going to be aware of them and you want to address those. First, let's just talk about what cover letters should look like, okay? A cover letter should be really 3 paragraphs, no more, maybe 4, but it should be relatively brief. There's no reason why you can't use bullets in a cover letter either, especially when we're addressing those gaps in your resume that might make you a better fit should you have that experience. So you might want to put some experience that's relevant in there to make the reader want to read your resume. But that's kind of the way the resume should look. The first paragraph is who you are and why you're applying to this role and what you're excited about. The second paragraph addresses specifically that role and why you're going to be good at it. And then the third paragraph is going to address, thanks so much, look forward to talking to you, please reach out to me soon type of thing. I do have an article on how to get the job on cover letters, which I think I've actually given some cover letter templates that you could just kind of go in there and look at. If I haven't, then let me know, but I believe I did. It was a while ago that I wrote that article. But let's just say, okay, the first reason because the cover letter was asked for, right? Obvious. If someone says, hey, send me your resume and cover letter, make a cover letter, okay? Don't just send them a resume. Kind of like what we talked about last week. Follow instructions. Do what's being asked of you to make sure that you're prioritizing the role and then they're going to prioritize you. The next thing is that when you think you might, as looking at the job description, the job is asking for 10 years of experience and you have 8 years of experience. Or the job is asking for SAP experience and you have Oracle experience. And there's just certain things on there that aren't perfect, but all the other stuff is. So maybe you're an 80% match for the job and 20% you're just missing. Or it requires a master's and you have a bachelor's, but you have all this experience on top of that. That's where you would address it in your cover letter. In that second paragraph of the cover letter, you would be saying things like, I know you require, from reading the job description, I see that you require a master's degree. However, I hope you understand that 15 years of experience at these companies with my background and bachelor's degree, I think I have the comparable experience that you're looking for or something like that. So that's when that's for point 2. When your job description has some requirements you don't have, and as you look at them comparing apples to apples between your resume and job description, you are less than an 80% match for, then you do a cover letter. And then the third, you have an obvious red flag in your resume. Something like a date gap for 4 years, starting in 2014 to 2018. There's 4 years of nothing there. I might address that depending on what you were doing. I would try to highlight it because it's going to get up and be brought up. Remember, or it's not going to be brought up at all. No one's going to call you. And we've talked about this before, how often in an interview process, no matter what process you're in, if you're in the resume review process, if you're in the application process, if you're in the first, second, or third interview process, you want to answer questions before they're asked. It's going to show that you're comfortable with the information. It shows you're not hiding anything, and it gives confidence to the person you're working with to feel like you're being 100% truthful in your information. So make sure you do that because that's only going to help you throughout this process. So other obvious red flags on your resume. Perhaps you only have, 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, 6 months at the past 4 companies. You've been at 4 companies in the past 2 years. That's a red flag. I would address that in my cover letter, and I'd make sure that I had logical reasons as to why I left or why I was asked to leave or why the role didn't work out or whatever. But I want to alleviate the concern that I'm a job hopper if I don't believe I am a job hopper. Now, if you are a job hopper and you're going to leave in 4 or 5 months, then good luck. That's all I can say, because it's going to be tough for you to get looked at the longer you do that. If roles are contract roles, that's so much different than having full-time employment and choosing to leave every 3, 4, 5, 6 months. And we've talked about this before many times that, 30, sorry, I just got done working out, so I'm a little sweaty. But remember, 31% of people quit a job within 6 months. You don't want to be that 31% all the time, okay? It's okay once in a while because the culture isn't right or things like that, but over time, that's going to make you untouchable and blacklisted. So remember, 3 things to get you to reason why you're going to write a cover letter. Because it's asked for, because you think the job description is less than an 80% match of what you bring to the table, you are missing some of the requirements, and then the third, because you have some obvious red flags. Now, the last thing I'll say is if you do all this, is it going to get read? Truthfully, probably not, okay? I always read cover letters when I didn't think somebody was a strong fit, but that was extra work, right? Because now it required me to go into it. But I'll tell you, 99% of the cover letters I read were just generic cover letters. They were not customized for my company. And I just moved on. If you were a 75% match for the role, and I read the cover letter, and it just was a generic cover letter, you didn't get an application pushed forward. If your cover letter was written for me, and it said, you know, dear hiring manager, as you look at my resume, you will see that this job requires this, this, and this, and I don't have that, but I have this, this, and this. 99% of the time, I would reach out with a personal email just to get some more information because they took the time to write a cover letter. So I took the time to reach out to them. So realize that remember, personalizing your process is going to be the key for people actually reaching back out to you and maybe reading it. Now, truthfully though, people might not ever read your cover letter and you still might not get the job, but you definitely won't get the job if you don't write the cover letter in those situations. Hope you're doing well. I'll see you next time. Bye.